Meaninglessness, midlife crisis, and the purpose of life. We're gonna do it today. We're gonna discuss these topics today. I had a request also coming from someone to, make a video on this topic. So, if you know about midlife crisis, when you are in 30s and everything, suddenly, nothing just, you've lost your childhood innocence, you have lost the joy that you felt as a child, you know, and you are completely into the matrix, doing what matrix wants you to do. You are programmed a certain way, you behave a certain way, you greet people a certain way, you respect people a certain way, you eat a certain way, you have your compulsions going a certain way, you have your impulses a certain way, you have your dressing sense a certain way. Do you know that there was a research done, and the research said people who do not experiment much with their food are said to have low self esteem? So you are all very programmed a certain way, right? So you're all very programmed a certain way, very much a certain way, even in how you eat, even in how you dress. Have you looked at the hairstyles right now or nowadays? Especially with women, you see how how they program the beauty of women, how there was at once, I remember, I think we were kids in school, and I remember I read it in a magazine how women were really falling off those, model ramp walks, they were literally falling off those ramp walks because they were really dieting really hard because they had to look a certain way. And then there came a trend, there was this zero waste trend there came, and everybody was, dieting over it. Everyone was mad around it. And then there came a trend of, straight hairs, and there came a trend of curly hair. So everybody's just so programmed, when they were when women used to have curly hair, they were told you should have straight hair. And when women started to embrace curly hair, now people started to go from straight to curlies. And all these, the products in the beauty parlors and everything, they have cancer causing stuff even in them. All right. So yeah, we are all very programmed. So it's so obvious for you to feel that midlife crisis when you are in your 30s, my dear. Until, unless you are, you know, until unless you are really searching for it somehow already. Until you've been searching for something all your life, you know, it just gives you the courage to leave that programming, to leave that matrix. Until unless you've seen and heard the pain, unless until you've not numbed down that pain, until unless you've not, you went to the bars and you've had alcohol, you got into smoking. People get into sex addictions as well. If you have not numbed out, your um your pain of staying in the matrix, if you have not numbed it, you've not tried to cover the pain. I had a eating disorders, so whenever I used to feel, I had my purgings and I used to feel a lot of emotions, I used to eat a lot, to numb down my emotions. Okay, so yeah, so unless you do all those things, you really sit with your pain. you know when you sit with that pain, the ray of hope appears, Shiva appears, and he gives you a hand, and he tries to take you on to the other side. Shiva hands appear in the darkest of places, when when you're really sitting with your pain, when you've surrendered with that pain, His hand will come to you and you will have the courage to hold the hand. But if numbed down your pain, you will never have the courage to hold His hand, to take Him with you. If you want to go with Him, if you want to hold His hand, you have to learn to sit with your pain. You have to see the fact, you have to see the truth. Shiva appears only, in front of people who live with their truth, who live with their truth. So you have to see the truth of the moment, all right? So I have also stayed in the matrix for so long, but when Shiva's hand appeared, I took it, and it was the most courageous act for me. But since I had not numbed down my pain, I knew, since I was sensitive, I never lost my sensitivity towards any other self and towards my own self. Since I never lost the sensitivity, I could feel the darkness, I could feel the pain. That's why when Shiva's hand appeared, I grabbed it. I grabbed it, and I'll never leave it. I know the pain of the darkness. I know the pain of the matrix. I know the pain of the Maya. So here let us come to our topic. So yeah, meaninglessness. People feel so meaningless. People feel such a meaninglessness, in their life. Why do they feel that way? And what can be done about it? So, do you remember? If you know about Ramayana, so do you know that even that squirrel, there was a squirrel who played the part, you know, um, she also went and helped with the Setu bridge, with the building of Setu bridge. So Ram had to, save a wife, Sita, okay, from the other side, okay, and from Ravana. So Ravana had abducted a wife, Sita. He had to save her, okay, so he needed help. So according to the lore, a few monkeys came in and helped, and of course there were humans too. And then there were squirrels too as well, helping. There was this one squirrel, who went and put that small stone, who was doing her, work in her own ways, and she was also helping, okay. And she was such a small member out there, but she helped. She wanted to help, you know and I think that was the purpose of her life. Of course, there is no one rigid purpose of life. You know, God calls you to do your purpose of life from time to time, and there is no one rigid person. Have you seen sometimes, when an animal or somewhere is stuck somewhere, okay, their soul calls out, you know, and sometimes somebody is passing by, and that is a kind man, ferocious man, to take that risk and help that animal, maybe a wild animal, and that wild animal gets saved. So God may call you, at times, okay. When you work for God, we are actually working for each other, and that is the new earth. That is the 5D earth. In the 5D earth, we're gonna work for each other. If you're somebody who's new to the channel who doesn't know about the 5D earth, you can have a look at some of my videos that are there on the 5D earth, okay. I think my second video was on 5D earth, and many videos about there on ascension on 5D earth. You can have a look on the new earth, 5D earth, new earth. So that is what 5D earth is about. Have you seen a pyramid? How a pyramid is, it's just there's one single point up there, and rest, everything is connected. Everything is connected down to the ground. There are many sides. So we all are connected to that one point, to that God, and everything is down. Okay, we are connected to God, we are working for God, and God is making us to work for each other. But in the old earth, in the 3D earth, what do? We work for the matrix, we work to strengthen the matrix. For example, there are companies who are, you know, um, for example, there are companies who are selling, products with high sugars in them. Okay, they are literally destroying our brains, they're literally destroying our bodies. They're literally slowing down our brains. Sugars really, you know, weaken your brain. So those are the people who are away from God because they're working in the companies, they're working for these people, they're working to strengthen the matrix. Old earth, 3D earth, 5D earth. You work for what's right, you work for God. We were here on the purpose of life. So I gave you the example of squirrel. Okay, I give you the example of a person, how when an animal is in trouble, sometimes, a man or a human just passing by just helps that troubled wild animal, and get him out of something. And then there are people who are really, really rich. They have a good life. They have gotten out from a good university. They have good degrees. They are earning in crores and lakhs and lakhs. They have a very settled life. And one day they just commit suicide. Then there are people who are, who have a lot of degrees, who have good degrees, who are doing good in life, but then they chose another stream, they chose another path, they chose the path of where their soul called them, and they are happy in life. It's only ego, who sees that only a hero is the one who's winning. It's only ego. Ego is when you're in your ego, you never feel full. You know, you are you're working from this dimension, and this is an illusion, my dear. This is an illusion. This is of the 3D earth. Whereas this, something deep within you, you know what you want to be. For example, an apple tree, an apple seed knows it will grow into an apple tree. It will never grow into an orange tree. Even if it tries to grow into an orange tree, it is not going to work. But one day, let's say, what if that apple tree tried, started to think, apple seed started to think and thought, what, everybody like oranges more, you know or maybe, people come to me and tell me that they want me to be orange, or maybe orange is more orange and I am more red, maybe I should get like that. you know One day, what if it starts to think and tries to grow into an orange tree? We will never have an apple, we will never have an orange. We'll have something that we might not want to eat even. You all know the Bible story, right? Adam and Eve. We said that when Eve ate the apple, she started to think, something like this. There was a story. She got brains, and we started to think. We got into our ego. Okay, we got into this dimension. But the 5D earth, the new earth is calling us, and it's time to go into the 5D earth. It's time to leave this dimension and plug in here. So when you work from the soul space, when you work from the deeper intelligence, when you work from your intuitive space, which is not this, you you sometimes play the part of the small squirrel, and you will be happy in that. You will not compare, you will not get into the stupid jealousy, you know. Stop thinking, stop comparing. Why? Ego will always think that there is only one hero, there is only one Ram, there is only one Harry Potter. You know, I remember I saw Chanakya, um, the Chanakya series that was broadcasted here in India. Like, I think I was in school, I guess. I mean, I was big enough. I think I was in 11th, 12th, 10th, I don't know exactly. But yeah, there was this show, TV series that was broadcasted, that is Chanakya. And it just opened my mind when I saw that Chanakya was a guru, right? And we had Chandra, what was the name of the king? Chandragupta. So Chandragupta was a student, right? And it just blew my mind away because Chandragupta was made a Chandragupta because of sacrifices of many people. You know, when it came to an end, when Chandragupta came to an end, I could not see Chandragupta as the hero of the story. His guru was equally a part of Chandragupta. There are many other people, who were equally a part of Chandragupta's life. There are many people who gave away their life even for Chandragupta to happen. Even Harry Potter, you know, because I am a person who works from the soul, from the deeper intelligence. I am into the 5D earth, and I have entered into the 5D earth, and I'm moving more and more into the 5D earth. And I am doing these videos to make you come with me, you know, like it's time to leave this dimension. It's time to move into, inside, within. So come with me. So that's this video about. So, yeah, even Harry Potter, if you see, Neville. So, Neville Longbottom, who was the most underestimated guy in the whole class, his one courageous act. Nobody, and of course, he was deemed as crazy, stupid, and he was a little, and he had a weird face and everything, whatever. But, you know, what happened? कौन है ये बाहर? जोमेटो वाला भैया, किसी का खाना आया, whatever. So Neville was courageous enough, and he played his part in the end. Okay, we needed Neville. That we needed Hermione's role. We needed so much of a Ron's carelessness. We needed Hermione's bookish knowledge, and we needed the courageous heart of Harry Potter, to do what he did. I know the whole series is named after Harry Potter, and somebody who was more in their ego, was very insecure about his own self. The whole thing is about him, his insecurity, his, he will never, he will never feel from the soul. He will think from the mind. So he's not gonna like Harry Potter. He's gonna play against Harry Potter. For example, somewhere that shady role that he played, what was the name of that guy? He was a little jealous of Harry Potter, right? What was the name of this guy? And his parents were, with Voldemort. Oh god, I have to find his name. Anyhow, wait, let me get my phone. What was the name of this guy? We'll find it out right away. हैरी पॉटर कैरेक्टर्स लिखती हूँ. This Wi-Fi was off. It's taking a little time. Wow, क्या खुल गया ये? Wow, कैरेक्टर्स में सबसे पहले हरमाइनी दिखा रहे हैं. Draco Malfoy was what I was talking about. So Draco Malfoy was against Harry Potter. He was a little insecure, but by the end, when he saw Harry Potter's plight, he somewhere changed his mind. So he was a little bit here and there, here and there, here and there. I think it was more of somebody who heard his soul rather than his ego. So, yeah, that is the separation that is happening right now. You know, who are you? Are you going to sit there, be insecure that you don't want to play this role of squirrel, in the Ramayana? Maybe the role of the squirrel was so important. It may seem like we didn't need her, but we needed her. We needed her even till today to tell these stories. She's a great inspiration, isn't she? We needed Neville, we needed Hermione. Chandragupta Maurya didn't was just he was the hero ultimately, but somebody who looks from the soul, I cannot say that he was the only one. I mean, Arjuna fought in a war and he won, and he needed Krishna. And sometimes ego makes you go into pain and struggle. Ego would deny you to take help from other people, to take help from a healer. Ego will even prevent you from thinking that you need healing. Nowadays, people think that they don't need healing. And I see, trust me, I have a third eye. And third eye is not some magical thing that appears here over here on the forehead and like boom, bam, 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 bam. But ऐसे कुछ होता तो मज़ा आता वैसे. But ऐसा कुछ है नहीं. But yeah. Trust me, I have a third eye. And I've seen people not being happy with their life, not healed, very much in their ego, and they don't want to go to the safe, they don't want to go to the home, they don't want to go to the soul. Ego will make you walk into the lane that is not yours. Whereas, for example, if you are a fish in the ocean, will make you think that you have to be that monkey that climbs that tree. Ego works like that. It's here. Whereas soul, it knows what's your purpose in life, where you feel the gravitation towards. Now I'm gonna give you a really amazing example here. So I've seen this very beautiful movie, Young Woman in the Sea. It's of Disney production, and I love Disney, and I love Disney Pixar even more. So I think this movie was amazing. It was based on a true story, so I really, really loved it. So it's around women, uh, women back in the 1900s, were not allowed to swim or to, get into any sports much. So this girl from Australia, if I'm not wrong, so this girl actually swam 21 miles and created a record. And she's gone through real, real, real problems. Now, you will think that she is the hero. She is. We needed her courage. But, so I'm going to give you this example. So she was assigned a coach. So a coach, who could not cross the English Channel himself. He didn't complete it. Okay. But yeah, he didn't completed it, and he's a very insecure man. Okay, and he was assigned as the coach of this woman. Okay, so he became very insecure. Okay, that she will win the race, and she will break her own record. So what did he do? Rather than listening to his soul, he listened to his ego, my insecurity, my defeat. He listened to his trauma rather than listening to his heart, listening to his soul. He's more of his ego. So, what did he do? He actually gave her pills mixed in a tea, and when she had it, she couldn't swim further, and of course, she could not complete the race. Okay, and then, but then another man, who was also not, who had also not, um, yeah, he had crossed the English Channel. He had done it, and he knew that this girl is faster than her. Okay, but he chose to help her out. He told her that you were doing really great. He chose not to become insecure with his own ego. He chose to help her and guide her. Okay, and ultimately she, this girl, she crossed that English Channel, and that coach, you know so that women had to create the record. That was the nature's call. That was the plan of her soul. That was a plan. So souls kaise, so 5D earth kaise work karta hai? How does 5D earth works? It's a soul's plan. Okay, 5D earth is a soul's plan. So how does soul plans work? It's like there are many characters. There will be side characters, there will be some hero characters and everything, and you will be happy with your side character. That coach was happy to help her. It was his purpose, and he listened to the soul rather than to his ego. He could have thought that this girl would break my record, but he was okay with her doing that, because after that girl broke that that record. It opened a way for many women to join sports, to come into swimming. She inspired. She was the first woman. Nobody wanted a woman. Even his father wanted her to marry somebody. Okay, so there were things like that. Even her sister, she was also a swimmer, but rather than getting jealous of her that she's getting the chance, she chose to help her out. She heard her soul. And we needed that sister, we needed that coach, you know we needed the mother as well. you know so some people are side characters, and some people are heroes, you know but somehow you will be happy in being the side character because you understand that it's a soul's plan for the whole planet, for the higher good, for the highest good. You know, maybe your purpose is just to be a bartender in a bar. You will be happy with that. I know you will think I'm crazy, but I'm not. That's how 5D Earth works. W- what life calls you to do, what do you want to do, you know? And I'm not saying there is only one purpose that God gave to you. No, the more you're listening, the more He's gonna call you. Maybe you're happy being an engineer in some, you know, maybe you're happy doing that 9 to 5 job in the 5D Earth. What's your purpose? Maybe you want to be a painter. Maybe you want to be, you know, the more you listen to your soul, you will know it. And you will be happy being a side character as well because it's not about you. You know, we need those squirrels in Ramayana. We need those monkeys. We very much needed Hanumanji, yaar. And you'll be happy playing those roles. But ego will always see that one damn hero and will be just so insecure about his own self. You know, but soul, it knows that that woman should win. And there were many people who supported her. There were many people who, you know, wanted her to win. But there were few who didn't want it because they were more in their ego. Many were just happy. I shared a post on Instagram the other day. जो लोग दूसरों की खुशी में खुश नहीं हो सकते, वो लोग खुश रहने का एक मौका भूल जाते हैं, या वो लोग खुश रहने का एक मौका उनसे छूट जाता है. That, let me translate it to English. So if you can't get happy in others' happiness, I'm sorry, you are actually you are actually you are actually missing out on being happy. We just need reasons to be happy. You know, soul is like that, but it's only our egos. So work on your insecurities if you want to come into the 5D earth. Sit with sit with them. And the insecurities are nothing. It's just programming that people have done to you. People have told you. You've always been that fish in the ocean. People have told you that you have to be the monkey. You have to climb the tree. I've been told that I've been told that you're so sensitive. And what they basically meant without even saying was that I was weak and I could always sense what they meant. But ultimately, ultimately, it turned out to be very good for me because sensitivity helped me a lot on my spiritual journey. Now, I am very much somebody who can sense the 5D earth, who can sense the new earth, who knows what it is because I'm sensitive. So, you know, everybody told me to be some other girl out there. That is what it is, 5D earth. I just also want to add a few thing here. I also shared a post on the other day. You know, if you do not contribute to nature, nature is not going to lose anything. You know, it is always you losing yourself. So nature's plan was to make that girl win in the swimming, to make that women break that record, you know, the movie that I saw. That was nature's plan. And her first coach worked against the nature's plan, so he was thrown out. you know Everybody said at the end he neither break the record for himself, and second, he could not even be a good coach, right? So nature doesn't lose anything. Nature will somehow or the other way will find its way. So a man appeared by himself and he said that you're very good at swimming. Let me help you. You know. So he became the part of the nature's plan. The second guy. The first guy who was more in his ego was thrown out. Nature is only giving you an opportunity to be part of this 5D earth or stay in the old earth. Stay in your ego, stay with your insecurities, stay with what Matrix has programmed you, that you are not beautiful, that you are not enough. That's what 3D earth has told you. That what programming has told you. Whereas in 5D earth, you can find your purpose. Maybe you're the hero of the story, who knows? Maybe you're the heroine of the story, who knows, in the 5D earth. Maybe God has big plans for you, who knows? And maybe you're a side character in the 5D earth, who knows? But you will find your happiness in being that side character. Your soul will find that fulfillment. Trust me, people have a lot of wealth and still cannot find fulfillment because they started building that with their ego. And then there are people who have nothing and yet they are so happy because they find soul's fulfillment. Trust me, nobody is going to tell you. But these invisible things, fulfillment of the soul, it is something that can only be experienced and not something can be seen. Trust in the invisible. Trust God exists. Trust the soul fulfillment, things like soul fulfillment exist, you know. And soul fulfillment is not connected by the visible things of the matrix. Trust me, it is not. When you were a child, you were the happiest. And when you were adult, you can see how many adults, I have seen many adults being so frustrated. Literally, the CEOs in the big companies and they're really coming home and beating their wives. They're so frustrated with life. I've seen big people in companies and they're coming home and beating their wives, literally. They have no joy left in them. They don't have soul fulfillment. That's why they have to take out the frustration of a woman, so such a coward. So what's your purpose of life? Maybe just sit today. I know you've always asked God, let me clear out this exam, let me pass this exam, let me give me a car, give me a house, give me a girlfriend, give me a wife, give me a husband. और क्या क्या चीज़ें होती हैं, etc etc. Today just sit and ask God, I want to be a part of the 5D earth. God, what can I do for you? Change it. Change your prayers. Find your purpose. Fill your life with meaning. Fill your soul with meaning, not your ego.